prepare for liftoff.
Hello football fans and welcome. We have some FA Cup action for you with the quarterfinals starting today. We have Norwich City hosting Man United. Can Man United carry the form they've brought back from the break and take on this Norwich side which has been struggling this season? We're about to find out. Hello and welcome to Carrow Road, where Norwich City host Manchester United for the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Norwich in the Premier League have had a horrible season, but they've managed to progress quite far into this FA Cup season. Manchester United, on the other hand, have come back pretty decent since the break. They got the draw against Tottenham and then they had the 3-0 victory. So they've got a bit of a better form going into this match. Can Norwich withstand the pressure that Man United is going to push on them? Are they going to sit deep and let Man United try to break them down? Or are they going to take the attack to Manchester and try to beat this team? We're about to find out. I mean, Manchester has one of the best defensive records over the last 15 matches. They had a very good spell, a lot of clean sheets. So they've improved. But let's see this Norwich team. Tim Krul in goal. Aarons, Godfrey, Hanley, Brahim in defence. Teti and McLean in midfield. Bundia, Duda and Cantwell with Pukki up front for their attacking options. Pukki lost his form a little bit since the turn. He started off so brilliantly and then it just died out. He was scoring goals for fun. Cantwell's also done well on the wing. But let's see the Manchester United lineup. De Gea, Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Shaw as always. Fred and Matic sitting in midfield. Greenwood, Fernandes, James with Martial up front. Obviously, FIFA doesn't update their game. They don't take into consideration that players are out of their injury spells now. So it's most likely Pogba, Rashford will play for this match as well. Probably sacrificing James and Fred or Matic. And we have Pukki to get us going on this supposedly snowy day. Byram was on the ball. McLean. You still feel like, even though Martial got that hat-trick in the week, that they still need a striker up front, a 30-goal a season striker. Martial's a bit inconsistent and sometimes he doesn't have that hunger. He doesn't show the hunger that he wants to be out there scoring goals. And that means that he would have to go back to his old position on the left wing, which seems to be Rashford's favourite position, and he's been doing brilliantly from there. But I also don't think there's going to be many strikers available in this transfer window due to what has happened in the world. So Man United might have to deal with the fact that they have Martial as a striker and maybe Mason Greenwood coming through. He's also had a pretty decent introduction into this first team. Shaw on the ball. Matic, James, Martial, Fernandes. Oh, he's fouled there, definitely fouled. They had zero advantage there. That should have been given a free kick. And now it's Buendia escaping here. Shaw, Fernandes to Matic, spread wide to James, Fernandes. Puts the ball in. Greenwood on the ball. Martial with the shot, but it's easily saved by Krul. Krul gives it to Godfrey. Byram. McLean. Tries to spread it wide for Cantwell. And Wan-Bissaka defends it. Best one-on-one defender in that right back position, I think. Not just because he's a Man United player, but I think he's solid there. I think Alexander-Arnold is better with his crossing, but not better in one-on-one positions. Oh! Wow, that move came out of nothing. Fred giving it to Martial, but Martial couldn't get the power behind it. That could have nearly been Man United 1, Norwich 0, but as it stands, it's still 0-0. McLean on the ball. Buendia. Duda. Teti. Teti spreads it wide for Byram. Cantwell. Back to Teti. Cantwell again. Teti. Cantwell. Byram on the ball. Now it's Duda. Cantwell. Pookie. Gets it to Cantwell. What can Cantwell do from here? He gives it back to Teti. It's like these Norwich players don't have the confidence to take on a shot or do something around the box. Byram. Cantwell again. And Man United win the ball back, and it's Bissaka. Matic. Can Matic get the ball forward? Fred to Fernandez, but it's a bit of a overhit pass and they lose possession. At the moment it seems as Norwich is edging the possession, but they aren't doing much with it. Greenwood back in defense. Maguire. Fred. Back to Maguire. Bissaka. Fred. Matic. James. Godfrey. Aarons. A bit of a boring match so far, with neither team taking the initiative and going at the other one's goal. Buendia. Now it's with James. Can Man United fashion something from this? Beautiful spread here to Fernandez. He's in the box. Can he produce a brilliant cross? Oh, nearly, but brilliant defense there. Cuts out the ball. And Norwich escaped there. Man United in a promising position, but Fernandez just couldn't find the right pass. Bissaka. Byram. Cantwell. Duda. Godfrey on the ball.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 1 minute of added time.
And that's it for the first half. Neither team creating problems for each other, and it's been a bit of a stale match. Hopefully the second half can improve. And we're back here for the second half with Norwich controlling the possession, 60% of it in the first half. Man United had 2 shots on target, but they were very weak. I wouldn't even classify them as shots. It was basically passes to the goalkeeper. Can either team improve in the second half? Fred, Martial. Fred again. Greenwood. Bissaka. Great defensive work by Cantwell. Bissaka was hassling him there. Cantwell. McLean. Byram. Duda. Cantwell again. Gets it back into midfield to McLean. Buendia. Spreads wide for Cantwell. Byram. Still nothing happening here. A lot of passing, but a lot of passing that's not going to cause the team problems. Cantwell progressing slightly up. Pookie. Still Pookie. Gives it back to Teti. Duda. Can he produce anything? Pookie! And it's a goal for Norwich. The underdogs have come and scored a brilliant goal. Working it around the midfield. I thought it was a bit boring and that it wasn't going anywhere. But a great ball by Duda, and Pookie pounces. Should the Gea have done better? Maybe he could have had better reactions, but it's a great goal by Norwich. And it's Norwich 1 at Carrow Road, Man United 0. Teemu Pukki, a man that started the season off so well. You thought Norwich would be in a better position, but his form died out, and so did their hopes of staying in the Premier League. Matic. James. Can this goal wake up this Man United team who haven't really done much in terms of attacking football? Great sidestep there by Fred, but it's cut out by Norwich, and Norwich on the attack again. Hanley on the ball. Teti. Cantwell. Duda, the assist provider, with a great assist there for Pukki. Duda. Byram on the ball. Cantwell. Buendia. Buendia still. Ball's a bit behind Cantwell. Cantwell gets in. Can he put a cross in? He gives it to McLean. Oh, poorly struck ball. That was a great passing move, but the shot at the end of it was very, very weak, and that should be causing Man United a bigger problem than it did. Maguire. Man United could have been 2-0 down there, and they should have been 2-0 down. Basaka. Greenwood. Fernandez. Basaka. Fred. Fernandez. Martial. Martial with the ball into the box. Matic trying to hit it from the edge of the box, but that's not going to cause problems, and it didn't. Buendia. Teti's coming off, with Roux coming on, Matic coming off, and McTominay coming on. Maybe McTominay can add a little bit more energy into the midfield. McTominay on the ball. James. Back to McTominay. Martial. Spreads it for Greenwood. Fred. Fred loses the possession. And it's another Man United attack that comes to nothing. Roux on the ball. Spreads it to Cantwell. Cantwell back to Byram. Fancy footwork there by Canton. That was a very fancy pass. Confidence pass. McTominay needs to spread it here, and he doesn't. Poor decision there by McTominay. James with the grass in front of him to run into. And McTominay doesn't find the pass. McLean. Pukki. Duda. Duda back to Roux. Aarons. Buendia. Still. And it's Shaw that gets the ball back. And he's fouled there. Man United running out of time here to come back. And it's Cantwell coming off, who's had a pretty good match. And Onel Hernandez coming on. Onel. Great hairstyle. Great hairstyle. Maguire. Maguire puts in a horrible ball, and it's back with Norwich. Hernandez on the ball. Just coming on. Byram. McLean. McLean. And it's offside there. Very late substitution here for Norwich. McLean coming off, and Frankic, whatever his name is, coming on. Basaka with the ball. Tries to find Martial. Martial manages to hold it up. Back to McTominay. Oh, he cannot. I was going to ask, can he find the pass? But obviously he could not. Maguire. Greenwood were offside. He's just waiting for that ball to come. He pointed a long time ago. Put the ball here. I'm running. I'm fast. I'll get to it and I'll create something. But Maguire puts in a horrible ball.
There will be a minimum of
That was surely the last attempt by Man United to get anything. Byram. Hernandez. Pukki. Lindelof steps in and gets the ball back. But that's it. The match has ended with Norwich winning 1-0. And that's the end of our football action for the day. Norwich winning this FA Cup tie against Man United, they just put in better work, they created more chances, and the goal in the first half separates these two teams. Is this likely to happen in the match that's beginning now? Probably not, because FIFA's obviously lost their marbles snow when it's 40 degrees outside. Anyway, if you like this content and want to see what happens in the FA Cup tomorrow, be sure to join me by commenting, liking, subscribing and hitting the bell notification so that you can become part of this team. Anyway, until tomorrow, peace.